Okay, welcome everyone in the second lesson of the AS Chemistry crash course. So today we're going to focus on inorganic chemistry. As always, the goal of this lesson is to get you very confident and prepared with some exam skills that often you're not. Uh, you're not that used to practice. So remember, we want to strengthen the understanding. This means that we're not going to go through the notes that much, but it's mostly applying the content to very challenging exam skills through different techniques, like we've seen in the first live lesson where we had to look at like to mark other people's work. So as you see, that was very challenging. But highlighting the common mistake is what I would say at one point will really, really help you improving and prevent doing these mistakes. Okay. Before that, I want to introduce a new exam skill or study skill in this case, because last time we looked at the SWOT analysis in the sense that every time you start a revision part of, I don't know, before a mock, before an exam, over the summer, before, just in the life in general, you need to have a certain awareness of the tools that you have available, your weaknesses, your strengths, so that you can prioritize the revision and really organize the revision in the way that is the most beneficial for you. Okay, so also thinking about the like your own limitations, it's one step um, towards improving them, and thinking about what help you have available. It can really help in kind of organizing everything and have an overview of the revision, as we saw. And then, of course, today I want to talk about one type of a study skill that I think is very important. And considering that for most of you is the time that you should prepare for your end of year exams, for the mocks, for if you're in AS, or you're actually preparing for your A levels. It's exactly 2 months to paper one, by the way, today. This means that you should be well organized before you even start the revision. And one study skill that I really like to use, it's called interleaving. Okay. Interleaving involves basically switching between different topics or question types in a single study session. So you're not focusing on just like one subject, one topic per revision session, but you're mixing it up. Okay. The thing is that it's very important that you're organized with it, because it's easy to just like take one past paper and only do that past paper question. But if you do that, then you're really missing out on some topics and some specific aspects that didn't come up in the paper, for example, or topics that maybe they're not that common in the paper, but then it come up in your paper. So it's still a way that you need to really organize the revision with the topics that you're most confident, least confident in, and the type of questions that you need to work the most. But then you are combining different type of with different topics. For example, you do some questions on enthalpy, 3 on bonding, 2 on shapes, 2 on titrations. Okay, this works simply because by switching between different methods, you really train your brain in, first of all, getting used to papers, because it's a lot of different topics that are either merged together into a question or different questions of different topics. So you need to quickly, switch from one topic to the other. But also remember that, I mean, it's also very useful for long-term memory. All of these study methods, they're like, proved scientifically that do work. And it's helpful because it trains different parts of your brain, because imagine you can do it even in different subjects. Imagine you're studying biology and chemistry. You want to do a bit of biology that is like wordy and visual, and a bit of chemistry, maybe the mathy part. So if you want to combine a different subjects that stimulates different part of your brain, this is proof that stimulates your learning, the learning process. Okay, so this is what you can do. You can use it by mixing some topics that appear together in an exam, or different subjects to change completely topic, for example. And then you could really doesn't matter so much how to use it, in the sense that for each question you think about the topic, but I want you more to think about how you can really organize your revision sessions from now until the exams in a way that is also a bit easier to handle. So you don't do 8 hours of chemistry, you do a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of the other subjects. Maybe you do one type of chemistry, like you do physical first and then you do organic. In this way, it's really helpful to stimulate the learning. Okay, and you can use interleaving, of course, with all the type of study skills that, or the study material that you have, past paper question, flashcards, MCQs, and you can start mixing two topics, two subjects, and then you keep increasing. It's completely up to you. That's why I really want to say one important thing, that the revision schedule that I'm going to show you, just an example for chemistry, if you're studying, for example, AS in like 1 week, every student needs to have a clear review of the whole specification, but prioritize the topics that you find more difficult. So that's different for everyone. Some people, they like more the mathy part, and some other people, they like more the organic chemistry, for example. So adapt the study times and methods based on what works for them. So for you, the student, do you study better in the morning or in the evening, or maybe in the afternoon? Do you study better doing 20 minutes and then taking a break, or do you really focus for hours and hours, but you only do 2 hours in a row and then that's it? Every student is different. That's why it's so important that you avoid comparison. And yeah, avoid comparing your progress and your schedule. I'm seeing so much on social media at the moment, the 10-hour study schedule. This is how I study 10 hours per day. You don't need to do that. Just do what works for you. But of course, that comes from yourself. Like, you need to analyze a little bit what works best for you and then adapt from it. Okay, so be aware of that. Okay, remember, good revision is personal, reflective, and flexible. Said that, if you want to use interleaving to mix up some topics, you could really do it like this. Monday, you start with, main focus, two topics like this. I'm not mixing up the subjects now, just focusing on chemistry, but just to see what I mean. The day after, you start a revision with a new topic, but no, sorry, with the topic that you did the day before, but then you start mixing up the other topics. The day after, what do? You start with the last topic that you did the day before, and then you mix up a new one, and you keep switching in this way. I hope you see also how you're carrying along in the revision the topic that you did the day before. Maybe you carry on also for maybe like one exam question, the topic that you did the 2 days before. So if you, in this way, you can never study one topic and then don't take it back for like weeks and weeks and months, right? You're always starting from what you did before. This is what reinforces long-term memory. But this is why it takes really a lot of organization in trying this interleaving. Okay. So with this, I concluded the introduction, and we're going to start with the inorganic chemistry. So, okay.